Good morning. Welcome to day 4. uh, I'd like to start today just straight off the bat and start talking about emotions. You see, we all have emotions. We're all forced to deal with them in some way, but I don't think we're ever really taught how to deal with them. And as such, we kind of go through life becoming, very emotionally wrought up over certain things, and a lot of the time we don't really need to. See, we have these emotions, and when we're suffering from emotions, they stop us from thinking rationally. And that goes for both emotions, both good and bad. If you say, for instance, you're falling in love, then you're thinking positively and happy and optimistically, and you're seeing the world through rose-coloured lenses, and that's not the world at all. That's just how you're perceiving it at that particular moment because of the emotions you're feeling. And similarly, when you're feeling angry or fearful, you're seeing the world in a negative light, you're seeing it pessimistically. And again, that's not the world, that's not reality, that's not how it functions. That's just how you're functioning at this particular moment in time. You see, what we choose to focus on becomes what we see. When we're happy, we see things that back up that happiness, that reinforce that the world is a good place. And when we're sad or we're angry or we're hurting, we look around and we see things which remind us that yes, the world is a bad place. But the world is neither bad nor good. It's both at the same time. And depending on where we choose to look is where we will ultimately go. But ultimately, it's our thoughts which create the emotions in us, how we choose to think about certain things. Say, for instance, if you're feeling angry about something, you'll keep thinking about that thing that's made you angry. Say you've had an argument with your partner, you'll keep going over that argument in your head. But by doing that, you're only allowing the anger to continually manifest. It's going to continually come out, and you're going to be feeling more angry because your brain has this fantastic ability to not be able to discern between what's really happening and what you're thinking. So when you're thinking something inside your head, you're creating a picture of something which has already happened, or you're creating a picture of something which you think might happen. Your imagination is building up this fantastically detailed picture, and your brain can't tell whether that's real or not. It just takes it as real, and you will feel the emotions that go with that. So for instance, if you think about getting into an argument with someone, you'll start feeling the emotions that go with that. Your heart will elevate, your heart rate will elevate. You'll start to feel sweaty and anxious and nervous, and you might start stuttering over your words and things. That's because your brain can't tell the difference between what you're thinking and what is actual reality. You see, to your brain, what you think is reality. That's all it knows. We see the outside world, we take in the stimuli from the outside world, and we translate that into an image, into sounds, into sights and smells and tastes, and we get a picture of what's actually happening out there in the world. And then, of course, we create as well, and we create our own world inside our head. And ultimately, that manifests in reality. See, what we create inside, we reinforce outside. So if we're thinking about something which has upset us and made us angry, we're going to see more things outside which upset us and make us angry. And that's going to perpetuate that feeling. So ultimately, it's very important to acknowledge where the feelings have come from. So if you're feeling something, you need to ask yourself why you're feeling that. If you're feeling sad, why are you feeling sad? Because only once you find the cause of that sadness can you effectively deal with it. If you're feeling sad because of the death of someone you know or love, then that's a perfectly valid reason for feeling sad. But if you continually dwell on that person's death, you will continually feel sad. So we need to move past this. It's not productive, it's not going to help, it's not going to bring the person back. So we need to think about something else, and that's hard. to move on from our thoughts is hard, but ultimately those thoughts are holding us back. They're keeping us in feelings of sadness and grief, anger, resentment, all those things. They hold us in a position that we're ultimately not going to achieve from. And if we want to obtain a life that we've always wanted or dreamed of, then we have to initially overcome the hurdles which are holding us back. And those hurdles are always going to be our emotions and our thought processes and limiting beliefs. So emotions, it's a big topic, and I will probably discuss it more at some point later on, no doubt, as time goes by. And maybe as time goes by and I get better at talking and I really start finding my voice, I'll be able to make the point a bit more concisely and not talk for too long and go over the same bits over and over again. But yeah, essentially emotions today. Thanks.